I thought the Joker movie that was released in 2019 starring Joaquin Phoenix was really overrated. Most fans of the superhero genre, and especially fans of Batman and the Joker, tend to really love this movie. I think I'm one of 5 people on the planet that claim that they love the character of the Joker and love the Batman, but did not like this movie. Now, don't get me wrong, I think this movie is fantastic on a technical level. The acting is amazing, the cinematography is really good, the music is beautifully depressing, and it had a couple of very iconic cinematic moments that we will be probably talking about for many years to come. Particularly that scene when Joaquin Phoenix dons on the full Joker costume for the first time and he dances down the stairs in the alley. Like, that was a really cool scene. I think it deserved every single one of its Academy Award nominations, but I'm going to get into why I didn't like the movie overall, or why I should say I was disappointed in the movie. So I'm going to start with some little criticisms that I have about the movie. First, while I think Joaquin Phoenix did an incredible job acting, I feel that there were just too many moments in the movie where he went, how do I want to say it, full mental illness. If you remember the movie Tropic Thunder, there's that scene where Robert Downey Jr. criticizes Ben Stiller for his portrayal of somebody who's severely mentally handicapped. He's an actor and he portrays a character called Simple Jack, and he tells him, "You went full R word. You never go full R word." And I feel that there were several instances in this movie where Joaquin Phoenix went full mental illness. For example, there's a scene where Joaquin Phoenix is talking to his boss, and his boss thinks that Arthur stole a sign that he was using to advertise a sale at a store. And then, towards the end of the conversation, Joaquin Phoenix starts to give him this really silly death stare, and his nose starts to flare up, and his teeth start to poke out of his mouth, and I'm thinking, like, is his boss just talking at him right now and not commenting on the stupid face he's making? Like, I don't know, it was just so exaggerated, and it just looked so silly to me. There was also that moment where Arthur is watching a stand-up comedian perform, and he's laughing at all the inappropriate times. So the scene shows a comedian say something benign. I don't know, I can't remember, but he'll say something like, "So I went to work yesterday," and then Joaquin Phoenix makes his stupid laugh. He'll go, "Ha ha ha ha!" And then the rest of the audience is silent. And then the comedian will finally say the punchline. And then the audience all laughs, but then Joaquin Phoenix stays silent. I saw a review for this movie by Red Letter Media, and they said that they really liked this scene, but I thought this scene was way too on the nose. Like the writer or director just like did a Wikipedia search for symptoms of people with certain types of developmental disorders, and the Wikipedia page says, "Many people don't understand humor or social cues," and then they just decided to put that scene in the movie. Another little criticism that I have is I didn't like how improvised the movie felt. To me, it was painfully obvious in many scenes throughout the movie that they just had no plan for what they were going for. And they just basically set up a camera and said, "Okay, Joaquin, just do some really crazy stuff and we'll film 40 different takes and then select the best one." I felt that this led to a lot of really weird, like random dancing scenes and weird conversations with himself. Like that one scene when he starts dancing in slow-mo, like starts dancing slowly to the music of a television show he's watching, and then he has a conversation with himself where he's dancing and then he pretends to be a girl coming out to him. He's like, "Wow, you're a really good dancer." And then he's like, "I know." And he starts dancing really weirdly again. And that was just a weird scene. It didn't, I know they didn't write that out. That was something that they just came up with on the spot. And the reason why I didn't like it is because you contrast that with a movie like The Dark Knight, and I'm going to make a lot of comparisons to The Dark Knight in this brief review, just because I don't think you can talk about the Joker without talking about Heath Ledger's performance. So, I mean, comparing this movie to The Dark Knight, like a big problem I have with the Joker in this movie is that other than the stair dancing scene and the scene where Joaquin Phoenix shoots Donald Trump Jr. and Bobby Moynihan on the subway, there really aren't many iconic lines of dialogue that there were in The Dark Knight. I mean, there's nothing in this movie that even holds a candle to Heath Ledger's "Why so serious?" monologue, or like seeing the Joker burn a mountain of money and saying Gotham deserves a better class of criminal, or I don't know, like Batman beating the crap out of him in the interrogation room while he laughs hysterically and says, like, You have nothing to threaten me with. Those were just awesome scenes that were well crafted, well thought out, and well written. And then to throw all of that out and just say, okay, Joaquin, just make a bunch of stuff up and do random dances at the camera. I don't know, it felt cheap to me. Another thing that really bugged me, it sounds like a little thing, but it really bugged me, was that I didn't feel that that awesome stair dancing scene was earned. If he was dancing down the stairs because he had done something really cool, like pull off a crazy heist or blow up City Hall or something like that, then I would feel like that epic scene was earned. But here's the reason why he's dancing down the stairs in his full Joker garb with that really cool music. It's because he's gonna go on national television and shoot himself in the head. Like seriously, that's the grand finale. That's the Joker's big plan. His big plan, and what causes him to dance to the epic music down the stairs and for him to be so happy, is he's going to blow his brains out. He's going to kill himself in a grand demonstration of self-pity on national television. I just thought that was very emasculating for the character. So yeah, the main reason I didn't like this movie is because I thought Phoenix's interpretation of the Joker really emasculated the character. He wasn't scary or intimidating in any way. And while it's true that there are many different interpretations of the Joker and not all of them are equally intimidating, my favorite versions of the Joker are portrayed by Heath Ledger, Jack Nicholson, and Mark Hamill in the animated series, and those were all pretty intimidating dudes. If I ran into any of these guys in a dark alley, or if they broke into my place of work or into my home with a couple of henchmen, I would be very scared for my safety. And I would be thinking about all the horrible ways that they were going to torture me and kill me, and yeah, I'd be really scared. If Joaquin Phoenix's Arthur Fleck burst into my room right now, I would pants the guy, give him a swirly, and then drop kick him out the window. He's a weenie. There's nothing scary about him. He's pathetic. And not like tragically pathetic, like he's a tragic character. Like he's just a pathetic human being. Another important characteristic of the Joker that I think was neglected by this film is that the Joker is an extremely intelligent guy. But at the same time, he is unassuming because of his getup. He looks like a silly clown and nobody takes him seriously, but by the end of the day, he's cooked up some crazy, psychotic, yet brilliant scheme and has taken over the entire city and killed everybody who opposes him. I thought this was brilliantly portrayed in The Dark Knight when you hear the mob, for example, say, he's just some guy in makeup and a cheap purple suit. He's not the problem. Or like when Commissioner Gordon asks Batman, well, what about this Joker character? And Batman says, one man or the entire mob. He can wait. And they keep brushing off this Joker character, and then by the end of the movie, all the mob bosses are dead and Joker has taken over the entire city. The point is that Joker is supposed to be extremely intelligent but psychotic at the same time, and this is not captured at all in Phoenix's portrayal of the Joker. Arthur Fleck is basically an 8-year-old boy trapped in a whiny 45-year-old man's body. When he's in therapy, we get a look at his journal, and the guy can barely spell his own name. He's not capable of leading people or scheming or doing anything that makes the Joker the Joker. And I'm supposed to believe that this is the great supervillain who brings Gotham to its knees and goes toe-to-toe with the Dark Knight. Phoenix's Joker couldn't even steal a pack of gum from a 7-Eleven without the store owner grabbing him by the collar first and forcing him to apologize and give the gum back. Arthur Fleck's only claim to fame is that he ambushed Donald Trump Jr. on a subway and then he stabbed a coworker in the eyeball with a pair of scissors, and like other than that, he's just a little weenie. Now, I give the movie props for thinking outside of the box, and I am actually looking forward to the sequel just because I know it's going to be different than other supervillain movies. But again, I want to say that I think this movie is fantastic on a technical level. I just think that in my mind, the Joker has certain key characteristics that need to be part of his portrayal in order for him to be considered the Joker, and this movie glossed over several of those characteristics. Oh, and one more thing. Why did the Joker movie feel the need to steal a joke from the Flintstones live-action film? There's a scene where Arthur Fleck gets fired and he says, oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to punch out. And then he starts punching the little timestamp machine. And I'm thinking, they did that exact same joke in the Flintstones movie when Barney Rubble is like, hang on, Betty, I forgot to punch out. And then he punches Fred Flintstones in the face. I mean, come on! Anyway, those are my thoughts on the Joker. Tell me why I'm wrong in the comments below, and I will catch you next time.